it's Symphony. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. If you are not new but you're not subscribed, also hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure that you rate this video. If you liked or disliked it, make sure that you tell me any video requests down in the comment section below. So this video, if you guys saw my last video, this is part 2 of the little explanation of, is the smoothie diet the most effective diet for weight loss? If you saw part 1, you already know that my answer to that question was no, it is not the most effective diet for weight loss. But in this video, we're kind of going to dive deeper into the why of that, why it's not super sustainable, and why it does not burn fat of the most of all the different diets. So definitely watch this video all the way through if you want to hear about why, and I guess different diets that are more effective for weight loss and fat loss. And I will be sure to leave part 1 and the video I did like a year ago explaining my results and how I lost 8 pounds in a week from the smoothie diet down in the description box below. So one of the big things about weight loss that a lot of people kind of don't like to talk about or kind of get annoyed when they hear, right, is that it's not supposed to happen overnight. It's not supposed to be a quick fad thing. Now, if you want to do the smoothie diet to detox and start off your weight loss journey, and that's why it's for 5 to 30 days, then that's totally fine. But most people aren't going to lose, well, let me not say most people. A lot of times it might take more than a month to get the results that people want. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Yeah, so it's going to take more than a month to get the results that a lot of people want. Now, if you just want to lose a little 4 pounds and move on, that's a different story. Or if you just want to lose weight and to lose a little bit of like water weight to go on vacation or to fit into that dress, again, not advising anyone to like lose weight, but you get what I'm saying, then the smoothie diet, okay. However, if you're looking for some serious like weight loss, and if you are looking for sustainable results and a journey that you can do for 6 months to a year, then I would say, like for instance, if you're saying, hey, I want to drop several dress sizes or several pant sizes, or I want to lose weight and maintain that weight off, I would say that there are so many different options to do that are more sustainable, and you can still feel satisfied and you can still feel like you're living a normal life. And the reason I say normal life is because with the smoothie diet, you're drinking everything. You're just drinking water, drinking smoothies, drinking green tea, and we kind of don't realize how much we're used to chewing something. And if you say like, oh, well, I'm just going to chew gum, a lot of times just chewing gum just makes you hungry, or it makes you want like a steak. So with the smoothie diet, you're drinking everything, but you never really get the chance to chew something, and that's what we're so used to. We've been chewing since we first got on solid foods, you know what I mean? So it's very, very hard for months on end for us to not chew food at all. Not only that, but it kind of gets in the way of if you have a family and you're cooking for your partner or your spouse, you're cooking for your children, and you're seeing plates of meals that you want to participate in but can't because you're only on the smoothies, and doing that for weeks on end is just a headache. That's one thing. The other thing, number 2, is it's hard to be social and go out to different events while on the smoothie diet. Now, if you're just doing the smoothie diet for 5 days a week, you can totally just not go out to events. But if you're talking about some long-term weight loss where you want to see a lot of results, or you want to lose weight and then maintain those results, it's very hard to say, okay, well, I'm not going to go to birthday parties, I'm not going to go to Christmas dinner, I'm not going to, you know, and every couple months there's a holiday around the corner, there's an event, or a family member is having a baby shower, a birthday party or something where you want to go out and you want to indulge. And then you're, you know, no one wants to just bring their little smoothie and their like a mason jar on the go and just have smoothies. Some people are able to do it, but I know that I'm not that disciplined. And I know that there's other people out there that kind of want to know a more realistic way. So I would definitely say the smoothie diet's not the most effective. Let me just check my notes. The other thing to remember about the smoothie diet, right? You know, we all know, well, maybe not. The other thing that's really important to remember is that in food, there are things called macronutrients. When you hear fitness gurus or fitness girls on Instagram or whoever you're going to for weight loss inspiration say like, oh, I'm tracking my macros. They're tracking their carbs, they're tracking their fats, they're tracking their proteins, some micronutrients, but usually that's what it boils down to, is that they're tracking their fats, their carbs, their proteins. Again, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a scientist, so I'm sure that there probably are other macronutrients, but mostly those are the ones that the girls are tracking, okay? Now, the smoothie diet is a high carb, low fat diet. High carb, low fat. The reason that that's important is because when we think about it on a scientific level, our bodies run off of carbs. Carbs are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are made of glucose molecules. Glucose is sugar. Little science there. So glucose or sugar and carbs are basically the same thing. That's why if you're going on a low carb diet or a keto diet or something like that and you're not eating as many carbs, you can't have fruit because fruit is what? It's sweet, it has sugar. You can't have rice because rice is carb. It's made of sugar compounds, sugar glucose molecules. So the smoothie diet has low, if not zero fat, but very high in carb. So the reason why you won't lose weight as fast or you won't lose fat as fast is because it's so high in carbs. Now our body runs on carbs. Whether you're sleeping, going for a jog, reading a book, our body is running on the carbohydrates, the glucose molecules that we're taking in during the day. So that's in our waffles, pancakes, potatoes. Just look up carby foods and it'll show you like potato chips. A lot of times people used to say, if you're doing low carb, don't eat anything white. I think that's misleading because there's so many foods that aren't white that are very, very, very high in carbs that we wouldn't necessarily think are unhealthy, such as fruit, right? So our body runs on carbohydrates and stores the excess carbohydrates as fat. So while you're on the smoothie diet, you might be detoxing, right? Because you're not eating solid foods. So it's very easy for those liquids to go through your digestive system and to get rid of it. And you're eating very raw foods. So you're not eating cooked foods, you're not eating processed foods, you're eating a very raw diet, which the human body does appreciate, and it's all liquefied, so your body has to do very, very, very little work to run it through the digestive system. However, you might lose a lot of water weight, and you will lose some fat. But you're not losing as much fat with the smoothie diet, which is why it's a detox, not necessarily the best way to, or the easiest way to lose weight, because it's so high in carbs. So what our body runs on, you're giving it in excess. You're giving the body like so many carbs, the body, especially if you're putting a lot of fruit in your smoothies, you're giving the body so many carbs, so many glucose molecules to run off of that it's not necessarily in a deficit in order to have to burn the fat that's on your body. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. So what would be a more effective way of losing weight would be to be in a 1 calorie deficit and or 2 a carb deficit than what you're used to eating. So that doesn't mean that I'm saying do keto. Keto is a very low, minimal, if not zero carb diet. I think people that eat keto, or people that are on a keto diet, eat anywhere between like 10-15 carbs a day, which is very, very, very low carb. You can eat 1 apple and be kicked out of ketosis, right? And I've also done the keto diet before and I do like it, but it does have its downfalls, so I'll do a different video on that. But what would be a more effective way of losing weight would be probably keto, because you are eating a high fat, low carb diet. So what our bodies run on, right? Carbs, glucose, you're eating a lot less of it and you're eating high fat. Fat is what's already stuck on our bodies. So you're training your body to kind of consume and run off of the fat instead of using carbohydrates. So you're burning the fat that you're eating, but you're also burning the fat that's already on your body. So keto would be a more effective and long-term option. People have done keto. Again, I'm not recommending it. Ask your doctor. Some doctors do, recommend keto. Some doctors say no for different reasons. We'll talk about that in a different video. But that's why keto would be a more effective diet or way to lose weight, because people have done keto for years on end. There's people that just live a completely keto lifestyle and where they just eat very, very, very low carb. They don't eat a lot of carby fruits, they don't eat rice, they don't eat bread, they don't eat potatoes. They eat a very high protein, high fat diet. So lots of avocados. We'll talk about that later. So keto. Number 2, just being carb conscious. That is something that I have tried to incorporate into my lifestyle, not necessarily for weight loss, but just because carbs aren't healthy in excess, right? And I think that in most people's diet, especially in the Western world, we do eat a lot of carbs. I'm Jamaican, I eat lots of rice, lots of plantain, lots of carby things. A lot of Americans eat a lot of potatoes and candies and sugars. I eat a lot of fruit, and it's very, very, very high in carbohydrates, which leads to the body storing it as excess fat, because usually we're not living a life where we need that many carbs. You get what I'm saying? We're not that active in order to justify eating as many carbs as we usually do. So a more sustainable way or more sustainable and effective way to lose weight other than the smoothie diet would just be being carb conscious, cutting back on the amount of rice, cutting back on the amount of potatoes or fruits, or I've been using those 3 examples, sugary drinks, you know what I'm saying? Like just being more carb conscious, eating, not necessarily going keto, but just, I don't even want to say keto on and off because that's not that effective, but just in the daily routine, saying I'm not going to have a bunch of carbs every meal. Maybe I'm not even going to have carbs at all every single meal. Do you get what I'm saying? The third way that would be more effective to lose weight than the smoothie diet would be just portion control. Portion control is just saying, hey, I'm going to eat my waffles, but instead of eating an entire Belgian waffle, maybe I'm going to eat 1/4 of the Belgian waffle. Instead of having 2 pieces of bacon and 2 pieces of sausage, maybe 1 slice of bacon, 1 piece of sausage, a little bit of, you know, you get what I'm saying, just portioning down. And I think that in the United States especially, we eat these huge portions. We can go out to breakfast and have an entire Belgian waffle or several huge pancakes the size of my face and just stuff ourselves full. And then at lunch, we're having like a huge burger. At dinner, we're going to get several tacos and margs, and we're just literally eating so many calories. And in order to lose weight, you do need to be in a calorie deficit. That means eating less calories than what you are burning during the day so that your body can be able to burn fat to keep itself going. I hope after all of that like technical stuff I did not lose anybody, but yes, the reason the smoothie diet is not the most, you can still do it for weight loss, but the reason it's not the most effective for weight loss is because it is so high in carb, which is exactly what our body uses to run on. So your body's not really struggling or being forced to burn fat, but you will burn water weight, you will lose, you know, inflammation because it's a raw diet, and you will detox because your body's not putting as much work in to digest the food. Great detox, not as effective for weight loss for those reasons. Other ways or more effective and sustainable ways to lose weight would be keto, being carb conscious, or portion control. All of those mainly because you are cutting back on carb either way. If you're doing keto, you're really not eating carbs at all. If you're being carb conscious, you're just being conscious of what you're putting in your mouth in general, but you're also giving your body less food that it can convert into fat when it's done using it. And portion control because you're in a calorie deficit. So all of them, you're in a calorie deficit if you're doing it the right way. All of them are sustainable for more than just 30 days. That is why those 3 options are more effective for weight loss long-term than the smoothie diet. So I am winded. I hope that this was helpful to someone. I hope that you guys understood what I was saying. I did hit all of my points. Yes, I did. So I hope that this was helpful to someone. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit that like button, hit that thumbs up. I will appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to see more of my content here on my platform. Leave any comments, questions. Seriously, you guys, in the other video for the smoothie diet, we're having such a good conversation in the comment section. So let me know down below if you feel like the smoothie diet is the most effective way for weight loss. If you feel like there's another way to lose weight that I did not mention, there's so many different, you know, options, you guys. But let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.